is a severe weather alert.
Today we are experiencing yet again a severe heat wave across parts of eastern New South Wales, with temperatures once again set to tip into 40 degrees and hotter for places like the ACT, much of northern Victoria, South Australia and western parts of New South Wales, including Western Sydney. The worst of the heat wave is going to be in eastern New South Wales. Well, this will be the third or fourth consecutive day seeing heat of this sort of magnitude, and potentially record-breaking heat as well. With this heat comes the risk of fires. In fact, we have elevated fire danger today with total fire bans in effect across parts of New South Wales, Victoria and South Australia. We heard earlier from Deputy Commissioner of the Rural Fire Service in New South Wales, Rod Rogers.
Well, look, it's that area, a lot of the area to the south of the state, but I think it's fair to say after this extended heat wave, anywhere in New South Wales is problematic if a fire starts. We've got 45 fires at the moment, 20 of those are not contained. Just yesterday we got 61 new fires, and 31 of those was caused by lightning. So obviously there's a lot of climatic conditions when you have really hot day, and then instability in the atmosphere later on in the day gives those lightning bands to start, and obviously that can cause a major problem because they're often in remote areas. So we've got a lot of crews from national parks and RFS that are out trying to deal with those fires early before they become really problematic.
Record-breaking heat is gripping parts of the country. We are enduring an extreme to severe heat wave in many locations. This is what Broken Hill was looking like on Wednesday. Broken Hill, you smashed a record. 46.3 degrees was what the mercury soared to as we endured this extreme heat wave. Now, we also saw Wilcannia have a record as well, and Sydney siders, of course, are in for another couple of days of extreme heat with thousands of people flocking to the seaside. In terms of what else is happening across the nation today, well, we do have, of course, severe heat wave conditions continuing throughout the southeast and inland. The State Emergency Services in South Australia have actually released an extreme health alert for the heat for you in South Australia. A cool change will be moving through this afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms through the north and the outback. Alice Springs, that is your 7th day over 40 degrees. We're actually in a low intensity heat wave for Western Queensland, almost a forgotten state with this heat wave because so much else has been happening. So please stay safe if you're in Longreach and Charleville. Another hot and stormy day there. By the coastline for southeast Queensland, it's just sunny, humid and also dry for you in places like Caloundra and the Gold Coast. New South Wales, what a couple of days it has been for you. We have seen record-breaking heat gripping the state, particularly for the northwest and the west of the state. Broken Hill, 46.3 degrees on Wednesday was your hottest day on record. White Cliffs got to 48.2, also their hottest day on record. Ivanhoe got to 47.9, and we also saw Albury get to around 45.3 degrees. In terms of the forecast for the rest of today, well, we have a chance of showers and thunderstorms through most areas except the central and northern parts of the coast. Hazardous because those lightning strikes could start new bushfires in the state. Temperatures well above average with light winds turning moderate south to southwesterly, northeasterly along the coast, which is why temperatures are on the rise for places like Port Macquarie and also Newcastle. Victoria, it's another scorcher if you're in the north of the state. We have a total fire ban in place today for the Mallee, also the Northern Country and the Wimmera. Advice from Vic health authorities is to avoid exposure to heat, stay indoors if you can, and it's looking like another warm one through the south of the state. We saw a bit of a reprieve on Wednesday, back up to 38 degrees in Bendigo. Isolated showers over the southern and mountain areas with isolated thunderstorms possible over the southwest and far eastern ranges, and it is searing in the north. Tasmania, of course, all eyes were on you on Wednesday. We had an out-of-control bushfire burning near Mount Eliza. This shot coming into us from Instagram. Showers with isolated thunderstorms today contracting northwards. Isolated storms about the Midlands and the east coast this afternoon. Locally hot for inland regions, and we will be seeing rain provide a bit of reprieve for those firefighting efforts through parts of the state. So good news there, but of course we are watching the lightning tracker very closely here at Sky News Weather. In South Australia, a slight to medium chance of showers. We are seeing searing heat once again through the state. Port Port Augusta 47, Cooper Pedy 46, and as I mentioned earlier, the State Emergency Services have issued an extreme heat warning for South Australia. It's a mild day by the west coast. We're seeing a cool southwesterly change, hot and stormy for eastern inland regions of the state. And lastly, to the top end, showers and thunderstorms right across the north. Outback heat is continuing, your 7th consecutive day above 40 degrees in Alice.
Yesterday, temperatures seared to 48 degrees in western New South Wales and broke all-time heat records for places like Wilcannia, Broken Hill, and down in the Albury-Wodonga region. Even places like Godoblin having their hottest January day on record, and even some parts of Victoria having their hottest January days on record, including Mount Hotham. This sort of heat is actually set to continue and, in fact, intensify over the next few days, particularly for New South Wales. Now, a slight cool change will come over the course of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, which we'll track now. But the heat will be back next week. And remember, throughout this entire time, we have pockets of elevated fire danger because it's been so hot and so dry. We'll track that cool change. This afternoon, a southerly will strengthen it for southern South Australia, parts of Victoria. That'll bring some mild relief, particularly because it's coupled with areas of light rain and cloud cover. It'll feel fairly muggy, though, underneath that. But what we will see is a proper cool change moving across the southeast on Friday afternoon. It'll hit Melbourne sometime between about 1 to 4 p.m. there, and you can see a cold front associated with it. Now, here we have that boundary of the cool change here, that southwesterly change. Ahead of it, however, look at those temperatures in New South Wales. That's 40-degree heat there. That's 45-degree heat for a large area. So a huge area affected by another very hot day on Friday. And, of course, that's going to be elevating fire danger, with pockets of severe fire danger in southeast New South Wales, most of the state experiencing very high fire danger at the very least. The cool change then envelops most of the state over the course of Saturday. It'll vary on timing of it depending on where you are, but for places like Newcastle and Sydney, expect it by the afternoon, and it could be a bit of a southerly buster. Northern New South Wales, though, places like Burke, will still be fairly hot, above 40 degrees, just not the mid-40s that we've seen. Now, the relief from the heat is short-lived. And I must say, there's actually a risk of showers and storms as well when we get these changes coming through each and every day on the ranges. The heat will return next week, so it's actually going to be hotter for some areas next week too. We'll take a look at this forecast going into next Monday. Northerly winds then draw that same hot air mass back into the southeast. Widespread 40-degree temperatures will affect again parts of Victoria, New South Wales, and South Australia, with a gusty cool change coming through mid to late next week. This is unfortunate. We'll take a look at how this is affecting individual locations. We'll do Albury as an example here. Now, usually extended forecast. This weekend, there's your relief going down to 37 degrees, just not 46 degrees. So it's actually in the order of around 9 to 10 degree relief from the heat. But take a look how that temperature builds again from Tuesday onwards above 40 degrees, peaking around Thursday, Friday before a gusty cool change.
Day 4 of a severe heat wave for the nation's capital, and it is scorching once again. We saw the water very still in Canberra on, of course, Thursday morning. Temperatures a warm night as well for you in the nation's capital, and no cool change is in sight until Saturday, so another 48 hours of this intense heat. Health authorities are reminding people to remain vigilant, look after the pets and elderly, and stay indoors. Absolutely scorching 41 degrees for you today, with a risk of afternoon showers on Friday. It's still very warm, and then our cool change will be moving through on Saturday, providing a little bit of reprieve. Canberra's average for January is 28 degrees, so we're still seeing another spike in temperatures for the early part of next week. In the Melbourne region, it has been scorching for northern regions of the state of Victoria. For you in Melbourne, back up to 37 degrees today. If you're headed to the Australian Open, pack some water because it will be searing, with the added humidity factor as well, feeling even warmer than 37 degrees. A wet and cool change is moving through though on Friday, and we'll see much cooler temperatures for Saturday and Sunday. Hobart, showers with a cool change moving through on Thursday and Friday. Temperatures dropping on Saturday, with summer sunshine returning on Sunday. Now, the State Emergency Services in South Australia have issued an extreme heat warning for the state. So please stay safe in these conditions. Heat waves are very dangerous. We are seeing another scorcher for you in the south, 37 degrees, well above average for this time of the year. And then, of course, a wet and cool change will be moving through this afternoon, providing relief on Friday. Quickly warming back up, though, for the early part of next week. Take a look at the temperatures by the time Wednesday rolls around, 38 degrees. For the west coast, it's a mild day. In fact, we have southwesterly winds, summer sunshine returning on Friday and right up until the early part of next week. Then our attention will shift towards WA, 40 degrees in Perth. Darwin, we're seeing an increase in cloud cover here. Karen on Instagram, and showers and thunderstorms will be a threat over the next 7 days. It is the wet season and we do need the rainfall. For you in Brisbane and southeast Queensland, we are seeing another humid day. Temperatures only dip down to 24 degrees overnight, quite a sticky one. The air cons will be in full force for you, 32 degrees. And of course to the harbour city, where thousands have been flocking to the seaside over the last couple of days. Today marks day 3 of a severe heat wave for the Sydney region, including Penrith. Scorching temperatures are continuing until Friday, with a wet and cool change moving through our western suburbs on Saturday. Relief is in sight on Sunday. Well, while many parts of Australia are trying to cope with a heat wave, in particular central and southeastern parts of the country, across to the other side of the world, and we have beautiful snowy conditions in Switzerland. Now, for Europe, there is more snow on the way for elevated areas. We'll get to that in just a moment, but firstly, we'll start off our world weather report in New Zealand, where we are likely to see showers easing for the eastern half of the North Island as they develop across the south of the country. Dunedin heading for a top of 20 degrees with a chance of a shower or two. Christchurch staying sunny with a maximum of 24 degrees. Across to Asia now, and a few showers and storms are expected across Southeast Asia as much of Northern Asia remains very cold but sunny. Now to Europe, we are expecting to see a cold and wet change spread across northern and central Europe, causing snow to develop in elevated areas. Paris heading for a top of 6 degrees with a chance of a shower or two, staying dry and sunny in London with a maximum temperature of 5 degrees. Across to Africa, and a major flood event will be beginning in Mozambique. Chance of a shower or two for you in Cape Town with a top of 26 degrees. In South America, rain is expected in Argentina, staying dry and sunny in Santiago. And finally, across to North America, where we'll see rain and showers drenching the west coast as snow spreads across much of the Midwest.